All right, Diamond. So now we're going to talk about some of those no cancel events that are an excellent way to make sure that you can keep your sales up and you can achieve the goals that you want to with Usborne. So, no cancel events, what are they? They can be as easy as a booth, a book drive, or even a personal party, a mystery party, some type of event that you do yourself. I'm going to break them down for you a little bit just to kind of give you a look inside of them and some tips to make them successful. So first up, booths. I have done booths from everything on a Friday afternoon where there's literally half a dozen vendors and 30 shoppers or so, all the way up to almost 1,000 person, maybe even over 1,000 person shopping day in one of the bigger cities nearby. I have been very successful with all of the booths that I have done, ranging anywhere from those smaller market booths being $400 in sales up to $1,000 in sales. Now, I will say, I personally do cash and carry events, which does help my sales because when you are at those booths, a lot of people want to take home the book that day that they've been able to touch and feel. A lot of people, when you're at those type of booths, they're also shopping for gifts, baby shower gifts, new baby gifts, cousins, nieces, birthday gifts. And those are another great way that you can up the sale because they can take it home for a gift that they have going on, in a week or two. Now, as far as cash and carry, I personally have built up my inventory on my own slowly. This is not required at all by Usborne. You can, if you are out of your incentive period, request consignment, which is where you would get inventory sent to you for free. And then as you sell it, you would have to pay and reconcile Usborne for the amount that you had sold. I'm not going to go into detail about that at the moment. On Blossoms, there are some amazing videos that could help you with reconciling, or any of us leaders would be more than happy to help you, but I don't want to confuse everybody all at once. So as far as cash and carry, I've built it up slowly using hostess incentives that I've had when I've had personal parties or when I've earned free books. My son is still very young, so he is just now getting to that age where he needs a lot of books. So what I had done is, say I had $300 in free books, I would pull out, $100 worth of books for him, and I might take $200 worth of books and put in my inventory. So he was getting books and I was building my business at the same time. So some hard, fast tips when you are at a booth. No matter what the scale of the booth, what the atmosphere of the booth is, never ever judge the booth. I've learned this not really the hard way, I guess, but I've learned this from being there. I personally did a booth just this past week, and it was on a Friday afternoon in a very, very small location. I did the booth because I knew the person who asked me to do it, and I went there. I set up all of my books just as I would for the 1,000-person sale, and I probably only talked to, 20-some people. There was maybe only 30 people in the whole building, and I still cash and carried $400 worth because every person that walked by my booth, I asked them, have you heard of Usborne? And then I immediately continued a conversation with them. How old are your readers? What are their interests? And I made personal recommendations for them based on that conversation. I did not present just options for them, although that's what it was. I presented it in your reader needs this, or I showed them something that they were so impressed with, and the idea of using that book with their reader, so that they thought, I have to have this book, which they're going to be very, very happy and very thrilled to have that book, because it is a good fit for them. Um, Shine the Light books. I'll be honest, I sell a lot of Shine the Light books to grandparents because I encourage them to keep those at their house. And that's something fun that grandmas and grandkids can do as a bonding experience when they're over visiting grandma. Um, of course, baby shower gifts, I always recommend, like Animalie and a Touchy Feely, That's Not My Book, or a stroller book. Those are just ways that I have thought to let that customer know that this is going to be a book that a gift person is going to think that, hey, they put some time into this book and they put some thought into this gift. Those are just simple things. Other big tips are, I personally don't ever sit down at my booths. If I'm sitting there waiting on someone just to come to me, I'm letting several shoppers pass me by because I have not grabbed their attention and told them or shown them how amazing Usborne is. I think it's a well-known fact that the books sell themselves. We just have to get their attention. And that, as a consultant at a booth, is all you have to do. Get their attention, present the books. Okay, so I think that pretty much wraps up booths. Book drives. Myself and Megan, of course, ran a very successful book drive here in our hometown. We were both wanting to do a book drive, but knowing that we live only a mile from each other, there was no point to compete in our community when we could team up and do something really amazing for the community. So that's what we did. I was lucky that I had a personal connection down at our local CASA office, which is why I chose them. And Megan, of course, was more than thrilled to be able to help with that organization within our community too. So I went and met with the head of the CASA office and told her straight up, this is my first book drive. I have not done anything like this before. I don't know what type of skill I can offer you, but if you're willing to give me a chance, I will give it everything that I have to help get you some books for children who desperately need them. I did run every single letter, every single correspondence that we put out there with CASA's name on it through the head of our local CASA office. I highly recommend this, and I mention it because a lot of non-for-profit organizations, they have to be very careful about the wording that they put out there, and I would just like everyone to be kind of mindful of that. So we sought out in our local community, personally going to businesses, running a You Caring website on Facebook with a group. We posted in it regularly, and we were able to raise $4,000. And with Usborne's amazing matching program, we were able to donate, and with our commission, I should say, we donated back. We were able to donate a little over $6,000 worth of books to the one organization. Now, I know several other consultants who have done things for local hospitals on a much smaller scale, and that's perfect too. But just think, if you are wanting to hit some big, goal of maybe trying to promote to a team leader, this is an excellent way to give back with your business and also help you achieve those sales goals that you need. Any of us would be more than happy to help you learn a little bit more about how to do those. And in the files on the Diamonds page, you will be able to find a sample letter that we used for our book drive. Lastly, personal parties, personal experience, shopping events. mommy and me coloring events, wine and coloring events, sip and shops. Any of these things are just personal parties that you, as the consultant, will be putting together. They can be just at your house, stop by and check out my books, because honestly, a lot of people do want to touch and feel and see the books. So if you host something where you can create a reason to put your books on display and show them off, it will help you. You could cash and carry those if you chose. You could just display your books like you would at a home party for orders only. Obviously, if you're the hostess, you shouldn't be canceling the event. So these would be a great way for you to make sure and have the sales that you need for that month. I hope that these are some good tips into no cancel events. And feel free to let us know if you guys have any additional questions about any of them. Thanks.